Do you want an Igbo president?
I want a competent president. That is one question. I do not want a numbskull to become president of Nigeria simply because he's Igbo.
Do numbskulls govern a country?
I don't, yes.
Have they governed Nigeria before?
If Nigeria were otherwise governed, we won't be in this mess that we are today. Look at, we're in a mess now.
Who is a numbskull?
A numbskull is person who don't get anything inside in brain power. You don't get brain power, that's a numbskull.
And they've been president of Nigeria?
Through time.
Is Peter Obi one of them?
He's never been president of this country.
Is he a numbskull?
No, how could he be? I was his chief of staff when he was governor of Anambra State. The man has grey matter in his head.
Tell me more.
I saw this man for the first time when Ojukwu came to Delta State to campaign for APGA. And I talked to him there, asked him a few questions, and I said, well, let's see how it goes. And I went to him. When the governorship election took place in Anambra State, Ngige was declared winner and sworn in as governor. I got convinced that Peter Obi won the election, and I started to campaign for him. By then, I held a weekly column in the Vanguard every Tuesday. Samamuka, the owner of the publisher of Vanguard, he gave me the leeway, the license. Every week I was writing. The writing should be done. Peter Obi went to court. After 3 years, he won. And he went into power. And he achieved a lot there. UFCC never call him, say, come give account of how you spend the money, up till next tomorrow. How many governors have got that kind of flag of support to wave?
What is his depth of mind like?
Let me tell you about that man. That guy has a multi-track mind. I worked with him for 3 years before he became governor. That is, campaigning for him to win his mandate. That's one point. I worked with him for the first 5 of his 8 years before I went to the presidency. If Peter Obi tells you to go and buy this book for him, he already knows the cost of the book. Before he gives you, maybe the money is, the cost is 5,000. He can give you 10,000 and say, I need this book very, very badly. Go and get it. Before you come back, you say, you bought it for 15,000. He might leave you alone, but he knows the cost of the book. If they will quote this, they want to, there was a time we were going to do adverts in Anambra State to welcome President Obasanjo, and they quoted figures. He laughed. He said, we'll continue this meeting tomorrow. He phoned advert people from Lagos. They flew in. I went to the airport in Enugu and brought them in. They brought receipts of adverts, billboards they posted last year, 2 years ago, 6 months ago, to show that it's not fabricated. And Peter Obi said, look at this. That's the kind of person if Peter Obi was president of Nigeria, he will not give anybody 90 billion for pilgrimage when people are starving. He will not do that. Not even in his wildest dream. So he's a different kettle of fish.
The man Nigeria needs?
The kind of person Nigeria needs.
He contested in the presidential election.
Yes, he did.
In 2023.
He did.
You were part of that?
In what sense?
You wrote a biography.
I wrote his biography, yes. Because people were telling lies about him. I said, no, be this man who I know well. Then I sat down and I wrote his story. So that people will see the truth. I wrote it.
That was a good campaign, right?
Why not?
Did he win?
Oh, not even only that. I'm a media person. But I was sitting in my village and giving ideas. He won the election in my view.
He won?
Oh, yes, in my view, he won. Fair and square.
How?
Didn't you see the anomalies of INEC? Didn't you see what their bivouac machines will work for governorship, it won't work for presidential? Didn't you see all the mutilated things? Is that how they contest elections?
Are you saying the election was rigged?
The election was more than the election was suffered a horrendous amputation of truth and fact. That's what I'm saying.
Peter Obi is the president Nigeria is yet to have?
Peter Obi is a president Nigeria could yet have. Yes.
Not Tinubu?
What do you mean by not that man? What do you mean by him?
Tinubu is not the right man to govern at this time?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the man who won the election is not in seat because those people who, negative forces, who were the forces of coercion, prevented justice to be done. That's all I said.
The Supreme Court certified Tinubu as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The Supreme Court also said that Nnamdi Kanu should be released.
So the Supreme Court is good?
The Supreme Court is good in what sense?
Nnamdi Kanu should be released.
Fine.
Tinubu won.
That's what they said. That's what, wait, let me tell you, let's. The Supreme Court decides, and that decision is final. That does not mean that you can't have non-acceptance. It's just that your non-acceptance of a Supreme Court verdict is for your own mind alone and shouldn't go beyond that. That is what it means. It doesn't mean that the Supreme Court is infallible. After all, the Supreme Court made what's this man's name? This guy, this fellow in Imo State. Hope Uzodinma governor. Hope Uzodinma came forth in an election. All the records are there. Hope Uzodinma became governor of Imo State. And he's even still there. Is it not the Supreme Court that decided that? Should I accept it? In my mind, I didn't accept it, but I will not go and carry placard. I will not go and cause dissension or destruction. But you can't force a man what he will believe.
I will not round off this interview without you telling me about Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu. You knew him?
Yes, he was my friend.
Your friend?
Yes.
Tell me about your friend.
When I think about the man, I think about the ideal I have of the Igbo man. What is happening nowadays is that there are certain characters of Igbo origin who, when you give them $100,000, they will sell their father and sell their mother on top